Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Bruffy's Rugby Offload. We are brought to you as ever in collaboration with Yala Sports and FFP Travels. They're going on the world's greatest adventure. Make sure you both like and follow them on Instagram as well. We've got a huge wrap up of the week's events. We've got new women's champions, Exiles are on the board, Bahrain stay undefeated. Keeps the games. Let's get into it. All right.
This is where we ride. Blood, sweat, and sand left it all on the side.
Okay. Straight off the cab, we had the women's final on the weekend. The Harlequins have come out victors, led by Chloe Cleary and Chrissy. They were the captain and vice captain. It was a really close game. I mean, the Quins took it 34-10. The scoreline does not do the game justice. In the first half, it was, I think, 7-5. Both teams scoring one try. The Hurricanes making lots of runs. Quins on defense a lot, and vice versa. Both teams defended really well. Canes probably hurt a little bit. Obviously, it wasn't the X-Canes, it was the Canes. The Exiles had split away and didn't come up for this one. So it was just the Quins versus the Canes, and the Canes only had about 3 on their bench. They lost their winger early. Her ankle or leg got hurt, and then they lost someone else as well. So it was just a bit of a tough game for them, but they had some standout performers. It was a real good battle between the 10s, both Kira and for the Quins and Alex for the Canes really led their teams around the park. So impressive performances. The Quins 10 kicked a lot more and put kicks in really good places as well. Alex just controlled the game well, and that tackle she did on Georgia, teammates for the UAE, just holding her up on the line. I know Quinn scored not long after that, but geez, that was some chase down tackle, and then the strength just to lift her against momentum. So that was a pretty cool moment. Obviously, the Quins got one back after last year, so they were very happy. 34-10. It's kind of the way the season worked, the 15 season worked for them. There were some really good performers. MP put a couple of big hits. Chanel at fullback. She had a really good, I know she scored a try and it was a good try and things like that, but a couple of her best involvements were on defense. I know Beth Taylor from McCain, she made an awesome run down, and her and Chanel collided pretty well, and then Chanel got a couple of tackles just as the last line there that really halted the Canes and just didn't let them get over when they'd made breakaways. So shout out for that. That was really cool. Both teams, unbelievable performances. It was a great game of rugby. And also, the shout out to the referee. She's new from the UK. She was absolutely class. Gave away the penalties, talked to the players, listened to her, touched judges. She was very good. So well done for having that. And it was a really well officiated game. The best ones where you don't notice a ref. And she was class by not doing anything untoward. So really good job. It was a great game of women's rugby, and it was a step up from their last game they played. Their last game they played, it was about 75 scrums. This one was clean. Both teams holding their own. Even the Canes at times had dominance in scrums at times as well. So, unbelievable performance. Congratulations to Chloe Cleary and Hugo, the coach there. Well-deserved win. You guys took out and made the most of your opportunities. So, very well done. Now we are moving on to the sevens in the ladies. So I think the first tournament is at sevens, and then we go into the 7 season. So it was a great little stint of 15s, whether it stays at the start of the season or end of the season to be debated. And we're hoping to get a couple more teams and a few more people in that, because it'd be really good to see 15s building as well. I know 7s is in the Olympics, but we need women's 15 on the rise as well, because I think the UAE could start putting together a good team and making a run at those World Cups as well. But time will tell. Okay, so that's all from the women's. Well done. Awesome. Let's go on to the West Asia Premiership. Now, first game of the weekend was Doha versus Sharks. First half was quite close. It was 7-7 for a good period of time there. Doha seemed to have all the momentum. There was a cracking tackle made by them. They had all the momentum, but Sharks just managed to hold them out and hold them out and hold them out. And then just before half-time, Sharks went over the line to score 7 points. And then in the second half, they kind of ran away with it, winning that game quite comfortably in the end, 41-7. A downer for Doha because it was at home. Sharks would have been a game they were definitely targeting. They targeted them last year, and it was very close. Sharks blowing out. They are on the way up, so well done to Sharks. Congratulations. So that's 2 in the last 2. Awesome job. The next game was Bahrain versus Quins. It was a battle in Bahrain. The Quins travelled there. It was a 2 p.m. Bahrain kickoff, so I think 3 p.m. our time. I managed to catch most of this game. I was flicking between the Sharks game and this game. It was close all the way. I know Bahrain came out 29-20 winners, but they scored with a little knock-on try knock-on from the Quins and a try at the end to stretch that out to 29. But the lead changed a number of times. Quins just failing again against Bahrain to get that job done. But a shout out to Bahrain. Their scrum, I haven't seen the Quins moving backwards like that all season, so their scrum was very good. Their ball running was very good. Didn't see as much from their backs, and it was almost like a little bit of reverse with what happened previously because Quinn's backs were on fire. They were doing a bit of damage, but they left a few points out there. I think there was a couple of conversions missed, a couple of penalties missed. That game could have gone either way, but Bahrain stay undefeated. I'm not sure if it's a good thing for them or not yet. Last year they were undefeated to the final. Let's see if this year maybe they need that awakening, but they would be happy. They came out, big performance, a couple of big runs from guys, and they are starting life without Rory Drummond, so they'll be happy to get a win on the board. And the other big game of the weekend in the West Asia Premiership, the reigning premiers, the Dubai Hurricanes, went down to the Exiles. Now, the score is close. It was 25-22, but it wasn't close in the first half. The Exiles came out strong, and they've been good at this all season, coming out really strong. They were up 20-0 or 20-3 at halftime, put in a really good performance. Obviously, the Canes fought back to lose, to get within 3, and the Exiles have that bit of a weakness at the end of games. Their bench not making the impacts that their starters are, but Exiles are on the board. Congratulations to them. They won the battle of the sevens, and Hurricanes probably need to do a little bit of soul searching. They've lost the last 2 games where they were expected to win, so maybe that hopefully that will turn their season around for them. They've got some great players there. I know there's a school tournament on, so PE teachers were offered away everywhere, but that affects all the clubs. So tough day out for the office. A tough day in the office for the Hurricanes. Exiles, congratulations. We will hopefully speak to Liam this weekend prior to the Quins game, and that will be on next week's pod. But well done to them. They got on the board. They're off the bottom of the ladder, so that is really class for them. All right, some other results we had. I don't know what's going on in Div 1, but we had 2 postponements and a forfeit. So Exiles didn't travel to Bahrain. That game was postponed. I don't know when they're going to be able to do that because I feel like they struggle to fill 2 teams, especially for an away day. The Dubai Hurricanes 2's forfeit against the Tigers, but their 3's played. So again, some of the things that are very different from what happens at home. How if your 2's forfeit, your 3's aren't allowed to play. In Australia, that's just the way it goes because it's not fair. You should always be playing the league above. And then the Quins and the Tuskers was postponed. It's a curious one. It was supposed to be played in Al-Ain. I have no idea why, but it didn't happen. So the Quins and Tuskers also got postponed. Shaheen did a demolition job on the Sharks. They won 76-10. So that was a huge point scoring there. So good effort from Shaheen. They are looking to top that table. It's still them and the Tuskers at the moment. And then the other game played was the Dragons versus Al-Ain. Al-Ain put up a good fight for a while, just lost it a bit at the end. It was 42-23, so a good result for the Dragons 2s. Alain still with a bit of work to do. As I said in Div 2, the Hurricanes 3s played, and now often it is a vets thing, like they have more vets who don't want to play up, and the Div 2 is where they play. But the Hurricanes took out that win 31-26 over the Dragons. And then in Abu Dhabi, there was a battle in Div 2 between the Quins 3s and the Quins 4s. And the Quins 3s absolutely romped the 4s. The 4s never gave up, and they kept fighting, but it was a romping. It was 83-0. And the Quins 4s defense seems to be a little bit optional for them at the moment. But those were all the results from the weekend. Okay, so if we have a look at our tables, obviously with the women winning, Quins winning, that table is done now. They are the champions of the 15s that will move to 7s. West Asia Premiership, Bahrain stay on top. 5 wins, 5 bonus points, 25 points. Abu Dhabi stay second. They are 3-2. They were on 16 points. Hurricanes are still third. They're 2-2 with 11 points. So they have 1 bonus point ahead of the Sharks, who are 2-2 at 10 points. Exiles move off the bottom and jump to 5th. They are 1 win with 2 bonus points, so they get 6 points. Jebel Ali, 1 win, 1 bonus point, and 5 points. And Doha on the bottom there, 1 win and 4 points. However, Dragons at the moment have the worst points difference, so they need to do something about their defense. In Div 1, Tuskers and Shaheen are both undefeated. We've got Sharks, Harlequins 2s, Exiles 2s, Bahrain 2s, Amblers 1s. None of them have had a win yet, so that comp could go anywhere. Some teams have played 4 times, some teams have played 1 time. It is a confusing table, but well done to all those getting the wins. Tuskers have won 3 and only had to play 1, so that's pretty good so far. All right, and in Div 2, Barrel House stay on top. They've still got the 3 wins. So do the Tigers. There's just a bonus point difference between them. And Dragons 3s, Amblers 2s, and Harlequins 4s all haven't got on the board yet. So they all have some work to do with that. So looking ahead to next week, we have some more big games. So in Dubai, Doha's travelling for the first time this season. They are going to 7 Stadium. That'll be a Friday night, 8:30 kickoff, and that is against the Hurricanes. So Hurricanes will host Doha, and they will be looking to break their 2-game losing streak. Well, both teams will be. So let's see if Doha can travel a little bit better than last year. There is a battle up in Zion Sports City. The Exiles, their old enemies of the Quins, are coming up. So that should be a rip snorter of a game. Both teams like to contest quite heavily in these games, so it should be a really cool game to watch. Be a part of that, 7 p.m. at Zion Sports City. And the Sharks and Dragons go head-to-head in Dubai as well. That's a 5 p.m. kickoff at Al Habtoor. That could be an interesting one. Both teams, well, Sharks on a 2-game winning streak. Dragons trying to get back up on the board, but struggled against the Sharks last season. So we'll see how that game goes. We'll be very curious. And then in Div 1, what have we got in Div 1? So Alain hosts Shaheen. In Alain, 5 p.m. Sharks host Dragons, 3 p.m. So they're both of those teams 2s. Quins 2s and Exiles 2s are supposed to go at it at 5 p.m. in Zion Sports City. And the Tuskers versus Tigers has already been postponed. So I don't know what's going to happen with that one. In Div 2, Sharks and Dragons go at it again. So all their 3 teams are playing all at Sharks, which credit. I love that. That's what should be happening more. There should be big club days where both teams have multiple teams playing, because the guys from who start in 3s can then go bench for 2s, start in 2s, bench for 1s, and more guys are getting more rugby time, which is good for everyone, especially if injuries happen. And then the Tigers are hoping, well, they were going to host Bahrain, but Barrel House, sorry. but that's also been postponed. And then there's an under-18s boys game. The Sharks are hosting the Quins, and that will be at 10:30 a.m. at Al Habtoor. So the Quins young fellas have a game then. Now that is the wrap up of the week. I'll try, as I said, it's been a hectic week. I'm late with the post, but it is all good in the hood. We have 2 more weekends of 15s before we head into the 7 season. Teams need to get on their bikes and get points while they can. And let's see what's happening with this messy Div 1 league, whether we can start sorting it out a little bit and get all the games played. There's been a lot of postponements, but we're going to run out of time at some stage. All right, so thank you very much for watching again. Appreciate you. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all those things, and watch just watch it, listen to it, do anything you like, and send me any highlights. Remember, if you send them to me, I can post them, share them, clip them, even just give me a time in a game when something happened. It does take me time to do all these things, but we will get there. Thank you very much, and see you next week. Masalama.